The world of sound, it's such a very expensive world. The higher up the products you go, of course. But we decided to do something a bit different. We decided to kind of take a look at two products from competitor brands just to see how they stack up against each other, just in vague terms. One's Logitech, one is Harman Kardon. Let's investigate. Oh, sorry, you're watching me listening to my music again. Let me just pause it. Obviously, I have some speakers right in front of me from two different brands. So, firstly, we got something from Logitech, which is on my left. It's two pieces here. And on my right, it's something from Harman Kardon. Now, obviously, these two look very different, but in principle, they're the same Bluetooth speakers, although they are very different devices. So I'm gonna focus firstly on the Logitech ones here, the ones on my left. And a lot of the Bluetooth speakers I've been reviewing recently, and I mean a lot, have all been single piece units like such. So sometimes you lose that element of stereo sound. So it's nice in a way to suddenly have something which is two pieces like such, to really have more of a stereo feel towards it. Now, I say it's Bluetooth, but you may notice some cables attached to the back. Obviously, these are combined by these cables, which are very similar to the ones you find in a lot of headphones nowadays because they're tangle-free. And obviously, one of these is also attached to the AC power unit, whatever you want to call it. What do I think of these? Pretty nifty. I mean, they look nice from afar, but once you're up close, not quite as sharp looking, not quite as exquisite as you would expect. These are the Z600, by the way, I should add that. Now, they are pretty light. This one especially is lighter than the right. Why? Because there's obviously things attached to it, etc. Let me show you what the back looks like on both. There's nothing on the one here, so let me put it down. But here, you can see the very basics. You press the top button to connect the Bluetooth device. Below it, it's obviously your power button. And here we've got these ports here, like auxiliary for you to plug things in, etc. Now you may be looking at these and notice I haven't actually pointed out any sort of volume control like such. That's because it's pretty much hidden. It's actually here. You swirl around it like such, and obviously the volume will go up and down, up and down. Obviously you can also control it on whatever your device as well could be. For example, I'm using my phone, I can just lower the volume on this as we're going like that and like this. But the key aspect, of course, about this would be the performance. How is it? Is it good? Is it bad? Well, it's pretty nifty and it will fill up a room. I mean, this room which I'm in right now isn't that big, but it certainly fills up every corner of it with the sound. Now, I would honestly say perhaps 40–50% is when you get the best sound out of these, because Logitech may say there's 3 drivers per speaker, but at higher volumes, the bass is kind of lost, and I mean, that's a real hindrance for me. I mean, plus point is they do have the more stereo sound because it's 2 separate pieces which can combine together to make the sound, but at the same time, a lack of bass, which is something I like. It has that punch, that feel, and it's just lacking here. So about 40 or 50% will be just about perfect. Otherwise, things tend to be a little bit muted, almost a little bit flat, especially if it's more complex song with a lot of instruments, a lot of vocals, or whatever you might like to listen to. It can be sort of lost in translation. However, I have to say, these are 600 ringgit, so the sound for that amount is still pretty nifty. Now, one little touch I do like is the Bluetooth transmitter which comes attached to this. Now, I'm sure you tried attaching Bluetooth to your computer at home, etc. Yes, there's cables here like I pointed out, etc., but you probably want to go wireless when possible. And sometimes computer Bluetooth connections aren't exactly the most stable. However, they've also incorporated their own Bluetooth transmitter to plug into your computer, and then the device will of course connect to that, and well, it's a lot more fluid that way and less technical hiccup. Saying all that, pretty nifty, but something which is more expensive and which also looks very unique will be this. Okay, that's really loud, so I can't even hear myself. Let me just pause the music. What we have right here is from Harman Kardon, and of course it's a lot more expensive. This is the Aura, and it's rather exciting. I mean, firstly, just look at it. It looks like a UFO, I guess you could say, a very stretched out UFO, but still nifty nonetheless. I mean, it's really, really cool looking. If this was at a party, this would be the center of attention. Everyone will be looking at this bad boy right here. So, as you can probably tell, the volume controller is at the side. That's what you saw me adjusting just now. We've got a headphone jack right there. And over here, we got some of the connections. Well, just the Bluetooth here. And obviously, we've got the power on and off right there. And at the back, in case you're wondering why it's Wi-Fi, it's for firmware upgrades, etc. And right there, you can see, obviously, the auxiliary in, etc., optical, and obviously the power, which is obviously very, very important. I've just switched it off, but it's okay. So what makes this special? Well, everything about it. I mean, the bass is here at the bottom. I mean, this cylinder right here, if you put your hand over it as the music is pumping, you can really, really feel it. It really is quite something. And also, you may notice the shape. It does mean that the sound is 360. It's omnidirection. I mean, I was playing the music, I was here, I was there, and I could hear it absolutely clearly from everywhere. I mean, that was really, really astounding. I'm a big, big fan about that. Plenty of drivers inside mid and high range to ensure there's plenty of kick, plenty of sound, and there's also a subwoofer encased in at the bottom, basically. I mean, it's pretty cool. There's a lot of features packed into it, and it's backed up by the sound delivery, which is absolutely astounding. So what I think about these two in conclusion, well, they're at very, very different price points. The Logitech Z600s here, well, it's a shade under 600 ringgit at 599, so obviously pretty good value for money if you ask me. There's pretty good sound here, and you can really light up a party or whatever you have at home with the sound coming out of these. But this is a whole different ball game right here at 1888. Obviously, that's over 1,000 ringgit more. My math is really bad, but off the top of my head, it's about 1,200 ringgit more. So you can pretty much buy almost three of these for one of these, but the sound is really, really good. I mean, the stereo widening DSP sound, the bass at the bottom, this turbo sculpted housing here for the subwoofer, and I mean, just the fact that 360-degree sound, and it really does come out clear with a lot of kick, a lot of bass. I have to say, this is a standout device. But I still think it's unfair to compare these two because of the price. It's so different that obviously this is bound to be better, because if it isn't better, considering how much this costs compared to that, it'll be a real shame. But do check them out. Really, really cool. Something like this, sound is one thing, but this also looks absolutely stunning. I mean, if the lights are actually off, that'll make very bad TV, so we can't really do that. You would see how the light center here, this LED thing here, also looks fantastic.